Hi, American Lit students. Your final assignment of this term is to create an annotated bibliography on one or two works that you would be interested in doing more research on. And the purpose of an annotated bibliography is to collect, keep track of, and evaluate research to begin writing more in depth on a piece. So since this is a survey course, meaning we are surveying bits and pieces from American literature between 1865 and now, you are in the stages of getting ready to learn more about the literature and learn more about the pieces that have been written by scholars on the literature. And in order to do that, you need to access some scholarly works on the pieces themselves. I'm going to steer you towards and encourage you strongly to use database sources, and many of you may already know what that means, what that entails, and how to get there and how to do that. If you don't, this video is for you. As Western students, you have access to specific databases of information that a person on the street could not get to. Since I know that many of you are also either currently enrolled or will soon be enrolled at Viterbo, the databases that you have access to might be slightly different, but one that I think everybody in Wisconsin has access to is the EBSCOhost BadgerLink database. So I will focus us first there and then briefly show you some other ones. To get to those databases, we are going to go to Western's main page. I'm on our landing page, and over here you see this search engine, search magnifying icon. Click that and type the word databases into the search engine. When you do, it will direct you towards a page that gives you databases at the very top. Click that, and then you will be directed to a page on our website that gives an alphabetical list of all the databases that we Western subscribe to. And it starts with BadgerLink, which is what I will begin with, and it goes down, I think there are about a dozen of them, to the SIRS Issues Researcher. So let's go to BadgerLink, and unfortunately with these databases it's a lot of clicks to get anywhere, and I'm going to have to move my screen as we do this to accommodate how the screens change. Once you've clicked BadgerLink, you again will be presented with an alphabetical list of various databases. To start, we are going to go to Academic Search Premier, which is also known as EBSCOhost, so it kind of has three names. BadgerLink gets you to Academic Search Premier, which is EBSCOhost. So don't be confused by that. When you get to this screen, you are going to go to Advanced, and then you are going to do a couple things. So I like to do full text because that means I get information now. If I don't do full text, I might find a source that I really like, but I have to interlibrary loan it. That's certainly an option, and I've done that for research before. But I usually like to start with full text to see what I can find. I would also like you, or encourage you, to do the peer-reviewed scholarly journals. So this will give you the cream of the crop information that has been written by people who are experts in the field. Researchers, scholars, scientists, doctors, whichever field we're looking at. And then the other things that you can do in order to narrow down this search is you can say, I only want publications published in the last 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 years. Since we are dealing with older publications currently, you might not want to do that because you want to read some of the earliest information. So I'm going to do a search for The Storm, and I'm putting that in quotation marks, and I'm also going to put, well, let's try this since it's already there. Let's see what it gives me. I get 2. So I have 2 references specifically looking at The Storm by Kate Chopin. And they are both PDFs. One is from 2010, one is from 2014. So relatively new in the literary analysis world. And I can click on these to learn more about them. So this says the article examines the connection of the main character of the book Awakening and the life of Kate Chopin during the October Great Storm. So This one is more about her short novel than it is about the short story that she wrote about, so that might not be as relevant to what I want to do my research on. Same with this, Storm Warnings, the Eternally Recurring Apocalypse, and Kate Chopin's The Awakening. So let's say I just do a search for Kate Chopin. I get 57 pieces, which would probably be a little bit more inclusive of all of the works she's writing about. If I want to try, let's say, War is Kind, I'm going to do this, Stephen Crane. Let's see what I get. I get nothing. So if I do Stephen Crane, War. And I spelled it wrong. I get 22. So this could give me some information on the author and what he's written and some of the themes that people are picking up on. The nice thing about using databases, so if I find one that I like, I'm just clicking on this one because it's the first one that comes up. I have the option to open it as a PDF. I like PDFs because it gives me page numbers, which makes my citations easier. And I can see that this is a 17-page article on Crane's The Red Badge of Courage. So let's say I wanted to use that one. The nice thing about these databases is that you have all of these buttons over here. And the one that is fantastic is this Cite button. When you click the Cite button, it pops up a list of citations options, and you want MLA for this, and it will give you the citation you will use in your Works Cited page. So that would make one part of the annotated bibliography already done for you. That includes being able to give me information on what your citation looks like. If you're going through the databases, this is what you copy-paste. Most of the times these are pretty correct. Sometimes you have to change things, like for instance this is all in caps, we wouldn't want to do that, and you don't need to include this big long URL, it doesn't give us anything. Just stop it at the end where it says EBSCOhost. But this is one database. If I go back to my other tab that's open, I can then look at some more databases, which are going to have a different interface, but they all do much the same thing. That one's probably not going to be great for doing literary analysis. I'm going to go to BadgerLink again, and I'm going to go to Humanities, or actually the Literary Reference Center. I'm going to do Kate Chopin, The Storm, and I get 7. So, a couple options for you. I'd start with Academic Search Premier. If that doesn't yield you much, you can then move on to exploring some of the other databases, either within BadgerLink or the other ones listed on this page that might give you more information. And when you do use the databases, you are getting higher quality info, you are getting information that is more easy to cite, and you are lessening the chance that you're being directed to a bogus or biased website online. So that's a quick rundown as you start thinking about who you want to focus your research on and do your annotated bibliography on. I hope that helps. If you have questions, as always, let me know. Thanks.